Good dawning, and welcome to another episode of Good Dawning with me, Mr. Floyd or Josh. And welcome, guys. Grateful to see you all. Grateful to have you all here. If you've noticed, it's just me, but at least we're vertical. We're sideways, horizontal instead of vertical, sideways instead of vertical, right? So yeah, you can't get the crappy chat view, but grateful to be here, guys. I haven't heard from Chloe, so I don't know. Yes, the sign on the tag says there's crystals with Crystal Talk with Chloe, but I have not heard from Chloe since I she had mentioned that she got new crystals, and I said, "Hey, you want to go live?" And then she said, "Yeah." And so then I've sent her a few replies, but nothing from her. So I don't know, boys and girls, if we will have Chloe on or Chloe's crystals on. But so yeah, I apologize for all of that. But if she, hopefully, she'll someone wants to reach out to her. But otherwise, guys, we'll do an episode of Good Dawning here with myself, and we love Chloe. And of course, if you do need crystals, go to you can go to website Chloe's crystals.shop and shop away, and of course you can get a discount with Floyd Fam as 15% off. FLOYD FAM. You get 15% off. But welcome, guys. Grateful to have you guys here, and hopefully you had a peaceful truth wave there and a peaceful evening. But otherwise, we'll just do an episode of Good Dawning here. I gotta get a stone for today, and I'm looking for balance in my universe because I've been out of balance. So we're gonna do a couple different things today. Slow things down because yeah, I've been in a different kind of space. I'm working through my shadow. Are you guys doing shadow work? And yeah, exactly. A lot of us miss what I've learned is, and even me, miss doing the shadow work, right? And so if you're what's the shadow? We'll get into that. But that's where I'm at in my universe. And so if you guys are yeah, so there's gonna be some shifts in the channel as far as that goes, because it's not always love and light, but it is working through the shadow, which is a good portion of people tend to miss when they're waking up. But yeah, so let's calm things down a bit. I know you just came from Truth Wave, but they're not on the floor anymore, so we got them hanging up on the ah above on the mantle above the fireplace here. But so yeah, so let's go ahead and me and my shadow. I can't see a lot of the chat, guys, so bear with me. I can only see single comments at a time because it's just the way StreamYard is. But okay, so here we go, guys. A little bit of chill. We're not Krista, of course. Krista is the one who gave me the idea for the bells because it is very peaceful, and so I found them at the Gem and Mineral show. So here we go. It's not a gem or a mineral, but they just keep vibrating. It's amazing. All right, so let's try to hang these up without making too much of a clang here. See if they'll stick. I need to put a nail like right there. There we go. All right, so they're up and sticking. All right, so let's 8:44. So yeah, I'm not assuming. I'm going to assume Chloe's not at this point not to comment, but that's okay, guys. If you need crystals, you can still go to Chloe's crystal shop. If you can get a hold of Chloe right now, we can still have her live if she. But yeah, maybe she'll show. But either way, let's do a card from Kuan Yin, making key now. Lucky, good dawning, Lottie. Good dawning, and yeah, this is fun. Saturdays. Oh, we got the chat to get a little bigger here. Lakeside, Laura. Good dawning. Must be nice waking up, sun over the lake. Beautiful. Um, darn it. Good dawning. Judy in the skies. Dun, 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 dun. What you are. Dun, dun, dun. Judy in the okay, Lakeside. Here we go. See Shelly and Neil. Much love, beautiful souls. Thank you. Robin, PLR. Love you. Millie, good dawning. If you didn't see, and I just noticed this, and I'll promote it because yeah, it's cool. So on Hallows Eve, right on All Hallows Eve at 9 p.m. Right, that's East Coast time. Or maybe 11. I don't know. It's 9 p.m. on my. It's showing 9 p.m. on my time, but YouTube adjusts the time, so I don't know if it's 9 or 11. It'd be 9 o'clock, I guess, my time. Maybe 11 East Coast time then. Millie, Trista, and forget the third, but Millie and Trista, and there's one more. They're going live, not Memorex, the three ladies. So who's the third lady there, Millie? But I did catch that in my feed this morning. And so mark your calendars for the three witchy ladies. I don't know who the third one. I know it's Millie and Trista. Who's the third one? It's slipping my mind. But they'll be live on Hallows Eve, and so that should be interesting. The three witchy woman. Well, we can see how high they fly, right? All right, but yeah, so there we go. All right, we have a storm which is so peaceful and much needed. Oh, nice! I haven't seen a good storm in a while. Being out in the sticks here, so to speak, in the you don't get we don't get a lot of storms out in Colorado, unfortunately. It's cold rain. All right, so let's see here. Darn it, good dunning. So yeah, so check out and just go to Millie's page, and you should see the post that's sitting there on her channel. And it just remember it's flipping my mind who the third person is. And if I could jump out and say, Neil says hi. Jimena, love and the must. Jimena, good dunning as well. So if you guys are tuning in looking for at Chloe's crystals, she's been vamanos, no mas aquí since Tuesday when I text her. I text her. She mentioned that she got new crystals, and then what? And so I text her and said, "Hey, you want to go live?" And she's right. And so she gets new crystals. Why? Because that's her money, right? And so I was like, "Yeah, let's help you make some money. Helps everybody, right? If you help somebody else make money, usually the internet will inversely help you, right? And it's out of love, right? And so we love having Chloe, but I haven't heard from her since then. And so let's send her some love and favor that all is well. I sent her the links like at 6 o'clock this morning. So I don't know. But let's so favor and love to you, Chloe, and hope all is well and peaceful in your universe. And if nothing else, next Saturday is Angela, but we'll have her on otherwise during the week if we yeah, Lucky, she posted 4 hours ago. She won't make it. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Lucky. But she didn't text me. That's okay. I don't know what's going on, but thank you. Oh, who's that? Lucky or Lakeside? Oh, Lakeside. Thank you, Lakeside. I could sort of make it out. It was the L, but or anyways, thank you guys. So yeah, she won't. Okay, that's fine. Then we will do a good dawning, and we'll change the title card afterwards. Do a good dawning title card. There we go. All right, so let's see what Kuan Yin has to yin for our yang for us here, and let's see what we got. But yeah, so from my end, then, all right. So if we're not going to play, then yeah, we're going to talk about doing shadow work, right? Are you doing shadow work in your universe? And that's where I am. So let's see what we got from Kuan Yin. Let's see if anything fell. That one. It fell out, sort of. All right, so let's see what we got here. There we go. There's Kuan Yin and her all divine feminine and glory here. So if you feel grace in your universe, then he is the master of divine grace, to say the least. All right, so let's see what we got here. You have the ability to invoke divine power. See, to call the celestial mountains so that you might be gifted with spiritual energy you need to attain your goals. Speaking to me here in the celestial mountains, right there. It's Long's Peak, at the highest one in the Front Range at 14,200 plus feet. Wait, right there. Permitted beings. All right, so you have all the energy you need to attain your goals. Permitting beings that love you unexceptionally or unconditionally, I should say, to help you is an experience of spiritual empower. So permitting beings that love you unconditionally, there we go, to help you in an expression of spiritual empowerment. I leave that one alone, but if you know my universe, I'm going to fall over, right? You empower the divine forces that can assist you to come to your aid and help you manifest your visions. That's my universe right now, but that's a whole nother story. Thank you. All right, thank you, Kuan Yin. The divine feminine. So what celestial mountain are you climbing, and do you need some help? Generally, most of us do. And if not, then most of us are fooling ourselves. But generally we come from a broken state. So a lot of us don't know where we're broken, right? So a lot of us need that help through the climbing the celestial mountain to see what? Victor, good dunning brother, where we are broken. And we're not broken really because we're source, but where we, as a human trying to be, that's the thing. We think we conflate ourselves as broken, but no, it's a human being. That's not being a human, right? And so in that aspect, we live in the brokenness. And so where are you broken? Climbing the celestial mountain to create something and then needing some extra or outside universal help, right? So in that aspect, that's what we're kind of talking about today. It's like grateful. That's where Kuan Yin came, right? She's seeing that right. And so some of us may need that help to help move forward, right? And so where are you seeing? So yeah, let's We're going to work with the Archangel Raphael's deck, the Master Ascension Light Codes deck that we received from Krista. Beautiful soul. And so let's see what we got. We'll leave the book out just in case we need it. We only used it once, but let's see here. Ben, bacon bits. All right. Bacon, 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 bacon. All right. Welcome, guys. Grateful you're all here. Yeah, this is Saturday Good Dining thing's kind of cool. And it keeps me framed, right? Because this helps frame me out for the day, right? I set my energy. I'm in a better space. So yeah, so grateful. Lottie B, awesome. Good dining. Musical interludes with Lottie. All right, let's see what we get from Archangel Raphael. We're going to cut the deck into three. Un, deux, and trois. Right? 1, 2, and 3. Il, yi, sam. 1, 2, 3. ABC. All right, so the bottom card as the energetics. This one card for today. And then the top three as the energetics, how to receive, achieve said energetics. So, a card we haven't had too often. I've been told I was from there, but who the hell knows anything? But I don't know. But then I'm not gonna say who told me anything. But I don't know anything. But and I never really felt the greatest connection to Atlantis, right? The lost city of Atlantis that theoretically found technology and then lost itself and went to technology and went berserk. And Atlantis go poof, right? Theoretically. So yeah, there we go. The lost city of Atlantis. But what they're telling us is to what? You can actually read this here. Seek deeper, which is what I'm doing. Deeper understanding. At a surface level, let's say I had more of a surface level understanding of what's going in my universe in certain ways, and now I am purposely and gratefully being helped and guided as well to seek a deeper understanding that I've been missing all along. And theoretically, and it's the shadow work, right? I could have missed that completely thinking I'm healed, but then doing the trauma patterns. We still in trauma patterns, right? And so that's where I'm at. But so yeah, so seek deeper understanding of what yourself, your universe, right? We got way too many cards here. Already 3. All right, 1, 2, and 3 for today. So the first card is forgiveness. Seeking a deeper understanding generally will lead to what? Forgiveness. And one thing most people forget about forgiveness is has to start with yourself. You can't forgive yourself first for the crap you put yourself through. Forgiving somebody else is a worthless task because you're still going to have it inside yourself. You can forgive them, but you really never forgave yourself. So you can't really yet forgive somebody else. Release dysfunctional energy. There we go. Universe speaks loudly in my universe. So what's dysfunctional in your universe is the question. Release that from your frame. And the way to do that, hey, guess what? Shadow work. Are you seeing the loop here? I love how my universe loops. It's absolutely amazing. Do you see the loops in your universe? It's doing the shadow work that most of us aren't doing. It's seeing the patterns and then deleting the patterns when they no longer serve you, which isn't always easy. But yeah, Metatron. Shut the I built a Metatron cube the other day, and I'd never actually done so, but I love this. And there's certain people watching here. You're gonna love it too. So I built a Metatron cube. What's that? Well, I have a Metatron. I went on Amazon a few years ago, and bought a laser etched wooden Metatron. Right. So it's the Metatron cube flattened. You've seen it. I'm not gonna pick it up right now because it's got crystals on it. So I created a crystal grid with it, right? Which is what you're really supposed to. But I never. Again, sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you know what you're supposed to know, right? And so I didn't know that until I was told that, right? And so somebody guided me to help me build that crystal grid, right? Gratefully. And so now Metatron is acknowledging that crystal. I have no other words to say, but it's literally sitting on my table if I could pick up the phone. But yeah, so there we go. So Metatron, and I know one of you is laughing your head off at the 2 cards right now. Build the foundation. Shut the front door. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm doing with the Metatron cube that's sitting on my coffee table right now. I'm building a new foundation in my universe. My foundation was still based on trauma patterns a lot of ways and thinking. A lot of my thinking was not shifted into the light, right? I'm still kind of patterned. And so we're working on pattern work and trauma patterns specifically, which leads to shadows, and we're right, exactly. So we're beginning anew with Metatron. Amazing. As I throw Metatron on the floor. But build a new foundation as Metatron drops to the floor. things that make you go in the middle of the night for me, Millie, but I try and catch the replay. Okay. Ocean. We've had ocean before as well. So expanding your light body, which fits all three cards, right? Because if you're releasing, there we go. If you're releasing trauma, if you're releasing trauma patterns, which is the thing I'm doing right now, and at least coming to recognize, okay, this is the trauma pattern. I'm not in trauma, so why am I doing this? And it's stopping the trauma pattern. The body, the self-regulating body, right? Judy in the skies. Millie, I watch YouTube at 1.25 or 150. I'll never, if you're ever on the channel, Judy, I will never, right? Never, ever not sing your name. So, because it's awesome. Purple Christine, amazing soul, love you. Welcome, guys. Grateful that high school play. We got here. Millie, yes, it'll be on late at 11 p.m. Halloween after Truth Wave. Okay, it was 11, not 9. Thank you. It always tells you the time in your time zone, so it's double checking. Halloween after Truth Wave, and between trick or treating and high school playoff game, which could be a home game or away, depending on how we do. But it works best late. There you go. So catch Millie, Krista, and damn it if I don't remember the third because it's driving me. I think it's Jimena. There we go. Jimena, Millie, and Trista. Thank you. Driving me nuts. They'll be live on Hallows Eve. The three witchy witches, witchy women, witchy woman. Can we see how high you guys fly? That's the question, right? Maybe they'll fly. You never know. Do we have rooms? Christine and I'm on 2x. 2x. That's like watching it. How do you hear that? It's like, rah, rah, rah. But yeah. So if we put the cards together, we start with Atlantis, and it's for deeper understanding. Thank you. The universe speaks, and we're gonna save this reading for one specific person. So we'll leave the cards out, but there we go. So seek deeper understanding. How do you do that? First off, by forgiveness. For everything. Just forgive it all. Let it go. How else do you do it? You build a new foundation. And of course, Metatron is helping me to do that right this moment. As a matter of fact, I have to spend 11 minutes meditating on the Metatron cube later today before I go to work. There we go. So Metatron, build the foundation. That's what we're doing. And then finally, ocean. Once you build that foundation, what are you supposed to do? You don't know, right? Expand your light body, right? Figure out. Oh my God, you have to figure out then what you're good at, what you're not at. Who are you, right? Expanding your light body. Not expanding your body like we don't turn to Orson Welles or something, right? But expanding we went from thin to humongous, right? But expanding your light body. So there you go. Hershey. Hello, Mr. Floyd and everyone in chat. Blessings. And Hershey, if you did not catch this reading, I'm going to show it one more time because now I see you in the chat, right? So the first card is, and yeah, everyone has to see this, Atlantis. Seek deeper understanding. In order to do that, you got to find forgiveness within yourself and your whole universe. Build a new foundation with Metatron. I'm going to fall over here. Metatron. We never had Metatron card fall out. And I've never done a Metatron cube. But yeah, maybe I'll do a short on the Metatron cube. But Metatron. Building the foundation, right? You also have to shake up. If you're building a foundation, what does that mean? You have to break the old foundation, right? The old foundation either has to crumble, which I am in a tower moment. I'm not going to deny that. Towers can be good or bad, though, so it's not anything. It's on how you judge it, right? And we generally our judgments of things or how we see things. But ocean of ocean, expanding your light body. So after you build the foundation with Metatron, you have to expand the light body, right? How do you do that? That's the question, right? What are you supposed to do? That's for you to figure out, but that's your universe, right? That's where you step in. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So crazy as it sounds, that's literally my universe right now. So yeah, Witchy Trista, I got to be like number 11, both here and truthfully and today. Oh wow! All right, number universe speaks. Hershey, love and yes, love and namaste, Hershey. We love you and are grateful. And yeah, what a great reading. I say nothing more. My universe says everything it needs to tell me, but I don't always listen. That's the problem, right? Do you guys listen to your universe? Sometimes we just blow right over, and then the consequences be damned because they come in, right? The universe sets you up, but gives you you generally speaking, the universe will give you an opportunity, right? Take the left or the right. Left is going to be awesome. The right is going to cause a personal crisis or something, right? And there we go. Then we take the left and we're good. But do we follow our intuition, or are we going with our trauma side? Like our trauma will lead us one way, but our intuition will lead us another. And if we haven't done the shadow work, are we then still are we even noticing, let alone anything else? Are we playing in the shadow and then taking the right versus the left when we know the left is intuitively the right turn? All of that. But if we take the right, we know that we're going against what our heart feels, but we're going what makes us feel more soothing, right? And that's not always the best way to go. Sometimes you got to take that road less traveled. But love the card read, Josh. Yeah, that's exactly. This is literally where my universe is. Not this card. That's the card. This is literally where I'm at. It's I need to seek a deeper understanding. You reach a plateau, right? You reach this level where whatever once you reach a level, right? You rise up, you bring up all these balloons, people, whatever you want to call it, things with you, right? And you hit this plateau, right? And you're here. And whatever you've got all your people with you and your whole new universe, and it's all dancing around on your plateau, right? Spinning around you. Comes the point where you sit here and you find that this isn't where you're supposed to be. You got to go like this, right? You got to release more. And so the plateau, all the people under, right? And so the question is, who rises up? Where do you stand? Are you? Because I'm in the state now where I hit this plateau where I got comfortable but stopped growing, and so you can do that, but then you're missing half the. It's always about growth, and so gratefully it was pointed out to me where I was missing. That was the whole shadow side, and but it's already been. But it wasn't completely missing because at least in my head, it was dancing around this. There's a whole nother level to this, but I'm not exactly sure where, right? So it got pointed out to me by a beautiful soul, gratefully. And so that's where we're at now. And so where are you at in your, I call this recovery. I don't call it ascension or I'm not ascending. I'm not getting better than anybody else. What I'm figuring out is I've been blocked. I've been slam dunked under my own crap, right? I've been sitting in my own trash can, not seeing the light. There we go. That's a good way to put it. Been my own Oscar the Grouch, right? If you want, if you get the idea. Not missing, just ignore, right? But yeah, so that aspect, you only see your universe as you can see it. And so if there's a whole lens that's missing or a whole frame that's missing, internally I knew it was there, right? Like, what are you doing? You guys start doing shadow, or there's something you're missing here. You guys start clearing out the old patterns, right? We talked about patterns, but I really didn't realize what I was doing, right? And so just living my life, I was still living in those patterns, the shadow of all the trauma that I had. That's not going to work because that's going to repeat the same patterns and it's going to give me generally the same results. So I have to do different. And yeah, so obviously, at least in this aspect, Metatron definitely realized that, noticed that. There's no coincidences when you build a Metatron cube, and maybe I'll do, like I said, a quick short on a Metatron cube. But when you build a Metatron cube and put it out there with the crystals on each of the grids on the Metatron there, each of the circles, when you do that, and then Metatron replies by card, I say nothing more. You just realize you're living in a living universe, right? Literally, I say no. There's nothing to say except literally you are living in whether you want to see it or not. So from your end, and I think we're going to do a channeling on this, and it's actually coming through here. We may reverse things here because here comes a channeling, but I'm not going to channel Metatron. I've never, and I won't channel anybody new per se unless they really want to bust through up front or live. I always want to try to get accustomed to the energy so I know what I'm dealing with before I take it public. And so yeah, so in that aspect, if Metatron's trying to come through, which I'm feeling, I'm gonna channel him separately, and then we'll bring him up live on the channel. But yeah, so but it's also an internal message to me to find myself squared out. There we go. In my universe, right? I'm getting squared up. There we go. Because how many of you have seen in your universe where all of a sudden it changes, right? Everything shifts, and then all of a sudden something else comes in, and it's like, wait a minute, I've been missing this whole key. This whole window's been like tinted over, right? Now it's getting clearer, right? Um, all of a sudden everything starts to right, exactly. So that's kind of grateful, beyond all words. So nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing ignored. Everything happens in perfect timing. Exact lucky. You couldn't have said it any better. What you ignore will either come back to bite you in the ass at some point where you can ignore it, or gratefully the universe will slam it into your face and then show you how to get out of it. But yeah, you can't ignore your shadow side. So let's do a channeling here. Then we're gonna do some energy work after. We're gonna reverse the show here. Afterwards, we're gonna work with the amethyst. Why? She got for me, and I can only speak for me. I'm looking for more balance. In my universe, I'm working out of the shadow and just more balance in myself. But walking out of the shadow isn't easy. And of course, what I've noticed for myself is that it's brought up a lot of other energies, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of those heavy shadow energies that I used to live in 24/7, 365, right? Saint Germain, we are grateful that you are here. We are channeling through Josh you to you today. We're going to talk about the shadow, right? And he's stealing Metatron, but we're not going to channel Metatron yet because he does not yet know the energies. But Metatron is loud in his universe. Why? Because he's built a Metatron cube. Why? Because he wanted bigger change. He's trying to release himself from the cage that's wrapped around him that he did not see. Are you in understanding that you too might have a cage wrapped around you that yet you cannot see in your loving, living universe? Although it's your universe so loving if you are standing in a cage that you cannot see the bars from, right? So if you are out in your universe, Saint Germain is asking you, are you able to see when you are acting in trauma? Are you able to see when you are blowing up the drama in your universe? That is the question of today. That is what we are going to leave you with. If you are willing to do the work, right, then you will see when you are in trauma. When you are in drama and when you are throwing your own adult temper tantrums or seeing your universe as negative, sitting on the floor when you have a chair, or whatever it is that you are doing to bring yourself down, right? You are going out to eat maybe, and you are not worthy, so you don't eat, right? You have the money, but whatever you do in your loving, living universe to make yourself feel small, to bring yourself into the old energies. Maybe you are living old patterns that you had when you were still heavy in trauma, right? But you spent years in the dark night of the soul, but you released. That's easy, right? Releasing the dark night of the soul does it on its own. The body holds the trauma. It says the DNA is full. We are done. You hit that switch and you start releasing the trauma. But have you released all of you that is patterned to that trauma? That is the question Saint Germain is asking of you today, right? Are you standing in trauma phase still, right? Are you still reacting in trauma? Are you still doing things that make you unhuman, right? You are a human trying to be. A lot of you are trying to control all of that, and you cannot. You are supposed to be. Are you in understanding? You are not supposed to be the boss of your. You let the energies control, right? You make plans, but then you cannot control those plans. But a lot of you are still trying to be in control. And a lot of you don't even realize where the control is lying in your subconscious. If you are in understanding, it's your subconscious that is still ruling your roost. How many of you here are in the subconscious mind, right? Understanding that your subconscious, you get the negative, you get this happen to you, and you have the automatic, right? The automatic negative response. Well, you may be negative in your universe, but the automatic response, right? So if you are doing this or that, right? Something happens for you, not happens to you, right? So something happens for you. Are you automatically in a programmed traumatic response, right? Are you automatically programmed to defend yourself, right? Are you automatically programmed to lash out? Are you automatically programmed to make yourself feel small? What is your automatic programming in your subconscious that you've been utilizing to manage to figure yourself out and to survive over these past years, right? So if you are coming from trauma, then you are generally coming from survival mode. And if you are coming from survival mode, then you are living in your subconscious, generally speaking. And your decisions, while generally yours, right? They're your decisions. Your subconscious is running the roost, right? You do not have complete access to the subconscious unless you get into the kill zone, right? As you heard from Dr. Joe Dispenza, like before you fall asleep, you can reprogram your subconscious. Are you doing that? Are you allowing yourself to see when your subconscious is taking over? When you are standing in shadow, when you are standing in lies, when you are standing in your own way? That is the question Saint Germain is asking of you. And are you able to see today, or any day for that matter, where you are coming from trauma space, right? Where you are, something happens and you, the traumatic automatic reaction. Are you seeing that? Do you immediately go to the dark side in your head? Do you immediately lie? Do you immediately run away? What do you do? Do you push people out of your universe? Do you be needy? What are your trauma reactions? And what are those patterns in your universe, right? If you are having a bad day, do you then take it out on everybody else? Do you have to explicitly tell people you are having a bad day? Whatever it is that you are doing, are you thinking negatively, right? Are you feeling low about your universe? Do you not have trust? Are you not doing things you need to do? What are you doing? Are you looking to maybe get divorced, but not doing anything about it? Are you looking to move to a new universe, but not doing anything about it? Are you trying to build a new business in your head, but not doing anything about it? one of these could be you in your universe, right? How often do you sit around before you make action? How often do you play in your head before you make changes? How often do you allow others to take your space and knock you out of yours? Your job as a sentient being, as a human who's trying to be, right? You are trying to just be. That means you are in, you are just being, right? Things come in, you are in presence, and you filter it and act accordingly and move on, right? And you are creating energies, you put it out there, you are creating, right? Being. But how many of you are not being? How many of you are sitting in trauma, sitting in drama, and having things spin around in your loving, living universe that you are not dealing with? How many of you are sitting in these same patterns, doing the same thing on the same daily, every single day, thinking that you are creating a better universe, or doing this or that? Figuring out if you are a star seed, figuring out if you are this Lyrian or that, is not doing shadow work, is not creating a new universe, spinning wheels. Sitting around, bloviating on YouTube on the daily, watching the same stuff every single day, doing nothing. But sitting on your Hillary Duff, watching the same YouTube is not creating. You may create yourself in a new universe watching TV, so to speak, right? But you are not literally fixing yourself. You are not creating anything in the physical, are you? And if you are thinking you are in recovery, which is what you really are, recovering from what? You are learning how to human be and not trauma be, right? And so if you are sitting in recovery, not descending, you are not descending anywhere. Where are you going to fly off to? You are just peeling off the crap that has kept you from being a human, that is being. If you are an understanding of who and what you really are, right? But you have not, none of you, not a lot of people have that understanding. So they bloviate and they sit around and they spin each other's wheels and they do nothing different. They don't grab their universe by the bull horns, right? They don't see that they are sitting in the same shadow trauma. They don't allow themselves to introspect and do the real work. The trauma, the dark night of the soul is no work because it is done for you. It is your job then to clear the traumas, to find where you are sitting in the drama and to clear that. It is your job to stop bloviating on YouTube, to stop spinning your wheel, to stop lying to others and to yourself that you are actually doing something when you are not. If you are sitting there, you might be doing something, but you are not moving forward if you have not done shadow work. Keep that in mind. Saint Germain wants you to understand that, wants you to see where you are living a lie to yourself, to your recovery, not ascension. And if you think you are ascending, then you are no better. You are not. Nobody's better than anybody else. You are just clearing the trauma. You have woken up enough to see that you have not been human. Who is being? You have been a trauma pattern who has been lying to oneself, living in patterns and allowing other universes and energies to create feelings and emotions in your head, in your universe that you have then lived off of. That's pretty deep. And if you can understand that, hopefully you can see where you have been doing the same. Again, we will repeat this once, but not again. Most of us are sitting in trauma, right? Trauma patterns created by ourselves and allowing the energies of others who are generally in trauma themselves, right? Who create your universe, to allow that energy to push and pull how you see and live your universe. That's pretty twisted if you want my opinion as Saint Germain, but that's just mine. But you are thinking that you are ascending, right? You are going to be 6D. No, you are clearing the traumas and you are finally stepping out as a human that is being. If you are an understanding of where you are and what you are really doing. But a lot of us are missing the half of the key. We wake up, we go through a bit of a dark night of the soul, we find our light and we try to vibrate up. Living in the same patterns, not changing the subconscious, where you built a pattern at 5, right? Because of this or that, and you still live at that 70 or 60 or 50, right? You die with the pattern. Why? Because you never cleared it out. A lot of us can't even see our patterns, but a lot of us have like your channeler here had a weak understanding that somewhere something had to change other than leaving his emotions behind and stepping forward in his frame, right? He had to also realize that his actions had to change as well, subconsciously. So are you seeing that for yourself? You cannot handle this message. If you're not understanding, we understand. But there's a lot of stuff in this that you need asking for you to understand and see. Shadow work, right? Standing in and doing the opposite, right? Say that for a day. Do the opposite of where you stand, right? Stand in your frame, but do the opposite instead, right? So if you are going to do this, try doing that. If you are normally doing that, then do this. But what we are getting at is your job to make changes in your universe bigger than just allowing the trauma to flow through and out, right? If you are still living the same way, if you have not gotten off your Hillary Duff, if you have not yet Examine how you behave, how you talk to others, what you say, what you do, how you interact. Are you a human that is being, or are you just living off a program? Can you answer that question? Have you done the work to even begin to see that? I cannot answer that. Saint Germain, it's not his job to answer that for you. It's Saint Germain's job to point out how many of you are not actually working in your own recovery. How many of you are just spinning wheels, so to speak. If you are seeing that, because this is a recovery, right? Good dunning there, Scotty boy. And being of recovery, we love you, brother, and grateful to see you here. Saint Germain is grateful to be part of your Parch crew too, right? But what we are talking about, Scotty, is those that are not seeing their trauma patterns, right? Those are not seeing the subconscious patterns that are set up in their universes, in your universe and ours, right? That we live by, generally speaking, and are based off of the traumas that we had experienced, but yet we are not in trauma, but yet living through the patterns. That is what we are getting, and a lot of us are feeling that we are getting better, but we are still carrying those trauma patterns. You're not getting any better. You are still living the same. You have not created a human that is being. You have created a human that can feel light, but it is still in trauma pattern. That don't work. Doesn't work very well in your living universe on Earth in the 3, 4D, 5D realm. It's not going to work for you very well, and you will not be able to reach the 5D through trauma patterns. Not at all, not one bit. And if you are an understanding of that, then it is your job, as Saint Germain is telling you here, it is your job to sit down, build your own Metatron grid, right? Ask your higher guides, ask Saint Germain, right? To point out to you where you are living in shadow, where you are lying to yourself, and where you are living these same patterns that you are all of your universe. These patterns are set up when you are 5 years old. When you hear about Dr. Joe Dispenza, you do not hear him talking about, generally speaking, talking about releasing the trauma. He's talking about releasing the patterns, right? And if you have not released the patterns, you have only done half, not even half of the work. Saint Germain loves you. We only say this because we want you to have a full recovery from the traumas and be a real human that is being on this planet. We're not asking you to ascend or be better than anybody else or float above or be higher vibration, right? You will naturally vibrate higher if you release your trauma patterns and do the shadow work. If you are an understanding, you will be a human that is being, because you will not be tied to your locked in trauma patterns. Are you an understanding? We hope so. Saint Germain loves you and only wants to see the best for you, and no longer deny what you are. Lots of people are missing. So until you decide to realize why you do, what you are doing, and then release that, then you are not going to get very far. You can see the light. You can maybe even walk in the day and feel the light. But if you are still this or that, automatically, right? Autonomic response, right? You do not have to work to breathe. You do not have to work to walk. You just get up and move, and your body kind of just moves, right? You do not have to eat. Are you controlling the digestion when you are eating? Absolutely not, right? So it does it on its own. It's an autonomic response, right? You salivate. That's an autonomic response when you see good food, right? Or the bell is rung. Ha, ha, ha. Don't be like Pavlov's dog. If you are an understanding, a lot of us are Pavlov's dog, right? Somebody says something, the bell rings, we act the same way. If you want to be Pavlov's dog, that is up to you. But you are living in that universe. Subconsciously, somebody says something, you reach out for defense. Subconsciously, you do this, that, or the other based on other people, and you're not realizing it. You may stand in your frame, right? And even subconsciously go, wait, why did I say that? That was not a nice thing. But it came out of your mouth, so it was subconscious and ready to go first, right? So are you understanding what we are discussing? Hopefully you can. And you can start to see where you are spinning, right? Spinning in your universe, propping up others, bloviating, whatever it is you are doing, spinning, doing the same thing, but not creating results, right? You are looking to get a bigger result, but you are spinning in a small space. You are yelling at people for no reason because you are in trauma reaction. You are judgmental, whatever it is your job now. 100%. And there's no other job basically in your universe. Once you have gone through the dark night of the soul and realized that these things happened for you and it's not to you or anything else, and you release all of that, right? And you're not sitting there crying your ass off anymore. It is not your job to sit down and take an inventory of how you behave, how you act, and how you live, right? Are you doing that? Taking an inventory of my trauma reactions, my overall gross handicaps, right? Those are your gross handicaps. They're not good for you. It is not good to get traumatically to feel that or to do things self-soothing activities, right? If you are like Suzette when she drank, when she's not drinking anymore, and we are grateful, right? That is finding a self-soothing pattern that is no longer satisfying or serving, right? What are you doing in your universe, subconsciously or otherwise, right? You might be grouchy, right? And use it as protection by pushing people away because you have insecurities about letting people into your universe. And you are not understanding that, you just think you are naturally grouchy. Are you seeing the bigger picture, right? That's what we are talking about, your shadow, where autonomic responses take over from your living, loving universe. We are not, you are in control, but you are not, because it's the subconscious. But it's your job then to step back like a dragonfly, right? Stand above, float above your universe, right? And see the bigger picture. See where you are standing in trauma. See your patterns. Write it out. Take paper with you and write out your traumas and your dramas and your patterns as they come up. But nobody else is going to put you in check but who? Yourself, right? It's your job to put you in check on your universe. So if you are not able to do so, start keeping a journal when you blow up, right? Whatever it is in your universe, sit down and take 10 minutes outside of YouTube or whatever and just take a moment. Park your Hillary Duff in a chair and sit down and see into yourself. Where am I acting? How am I behaving? Look at the reactions of others around you. That's a good one to start, right? Are you paying attention to how others are seeing you? We want to care just enough to see where we are acting in trauma and drama. It's not your job to care how other people truly see you. It's your job to carry yourself so that you are seen. You carry yourself however you do, but if you are carrying yourself in trauma reaction, in drama reaction, and all the old patterns that you did not clear out once the dark night of the soul ended, then you are going to have a little bit of trouble in your universe. So we are here to help. Our advice for you is to slow down. See consciously what you are doing in your universe. There's more to it. We will get into it. But it's your job, nobody else's. You may have help, but it is your job. You are not going to have somebody walk in and go, stop what you are doing. Stop thinking that, or stop saying that, right? It is your job to catch yourself and go, that's old stinking thinking, if you remember those terms, right? Grab it out of thin air and get rid of the stinking thinking. Grab these stinking energies, right? The energies that say, I'm not worthy. Maybe you have unworthiness in your frame and you run around with a frame of unworthiness and people see it, take advantage of you or whatever. It's your job to see that frame, see how you are still presenting yourself. If you're out of trauma, then you should have no unworthiness, because you should realize that you are source love and everything in the universe can come to you. Even your channeler is having trouble with that. So the question you have for yourself is, are you doing the work? Are you standing in the bigger frame and seeing what is the unseen? That is your homework from Saint Germain. If you choose to do so, you will greatly enhance your loving, living universe. If you do not, then you will be spinning your proverbial wheels, still reacting to what one says and another says and this and that and everything else, and through trauma reactions, through things that kept you alive, through things that the patterns that you built to keep you flowing and going when you are in trauma. If you are not in trauma, as like you're a channeler, then it is your job. This is the other half of this whole deal, to fix that in some form or fashion, however you choose to do. You do not have to do the work, but do realize you are just bloviating to yourself then and spinning your own wheels, releasing transmission. All right. Oh, good God. Sorry, it's the face of energy every time, right? Ugh. All right, so shake it off. Actually, hang on. Grounded. There we go. We'll push it through the feet. That's better. Oh, now my feet are all fire, right? Grounded. Val, good dawning. All right. Val. Good dawning. Say nothing more. Your universe, if you really let go, what I've noticed is that your universe will help you in many ways. And you will immediately, and I mean this with all of my heart, immediately start to see results. And you will immediately get an answer, get some sort of reply. Metatron, sitting. Here, I'm going to do something. No, it actually won't work. I'll make a video because then I can hang over it. But yeah, Metatron's activated cube there is, I'm going to have to say something that, I don't care. Maybe this is all real, in some ways, this is all, right? We think it's not, but ooh, it gets larger. And if you allow it to get larger, the synchronicities get larger. And what I've noticed as well, and 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 I just this is my universe. I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope, right? And so what I see in my universe is that the more I'm willing, big word, to make this to start, and the more I incremental steps. Doesn't have to be like this big blowout deal, right? I'm not blowing off the door. I'm just creaking it open, right? I already got a response. Metatron has already that's a reply. I never built a Metatron, keep just hung on my wall. But that's a physical reply from a living universe. See it how you will. There's this many cards in the deck, guys. Metatron has never come out of this deck. Maybe once. I've never even seen the card. 72 cards. I don't say anything. I just live, right? And so that's what it's all about. If you can see that, see the Metatron cube I set up. See the Metatron card I set up. See the deeper understanding that I'm giving and releasing this literally, guys. This is a living universe. And for those who don't see that, hopefully this helped because you can see it through these cards alone. And that's the point, guys. Your universe will match. And it's hard to say because I don't know, but it's true. Your universe will match your energies, right? So if you decide to start doing shadow work and you haven't done any, then your universe will match you by showing you that you're on. This is showing me that I'm on the right path. This is framing up my day in more ways than you'll ever know because I've been kind of out of frame working through the shadow work. Not anymore. At least for today, I am, and I can't speak for tomorrow. I'm much more in frame just by that reading alone. Thank you, Metatron. And yeah, and don't be surprised if Monday I channel Metatron. It's, 'cause I'm already hearing the voice, and it's sitting right here. I could jump in and channel Metatron right now, but I'm enough said. Grateful. So, are you guys doing that in your universe? Because you'll see a bigger shift. And I'm not going to candy code anything on this channel, nor am I going to not state where I'm at in my universe because we're sharing our experience, strength, and hope, so we help each other out, and that's the idea here. But, love that. Which So Jimena, Krista, and Millie live, not Memorex, the last hour of All Hallows Eve. So there we go. Except for me, I'll be working, so depending where I'm at, favorite. If not, I'll have to watch the replay. But yeah, let's grateful. We got like 10 minutes left. Perfection. So let's do some energy work then. It is Saturn Day, right? So I'm gonna create some I am statements, and the I am has been following me around, and so even though I have not changed any videos I've watched, it's amazing how many I am videos are now popping into my universe, right? How many people I've actually had people talking to me about the I am. Somebody said the other day, I am. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're what? He's like, I am. I'm like, what the are you kidding me? At work. And generally, I can't really have too many I don't generally have too many like deep discussions with anybody at work because we're all, it's what it is, right? It's a lot of, a president did this and that and what's happening to my universe. And so you know how people are in trauma and you politely nod and you talk, right? And you give them an ear because you have to understand where people are at their level. But no, literally the other day I was working with somebody and I'm like, how are you? She said, I am. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, literally. I'm like, what the hell? And she's like, no, I just am. I mean, really? You're having I said, what do you Yeah, so exactly, guys. You chop, fix. Forever. But that's it missed you, PLR. But yeah, I mean that's a forever deal. That's the point. It never ends. I mean it does, but it doesn't. You'll not body response. Pardon me. That's also from channeling. I burp sometimes energy wise. Pardon me, sorry. Excuse me, that was rude, but sometimes it just, especially after a channeling, they can come out, and they do sometimes. Sometimes I can catch it. Sometimes there's another one I can't. But that's also is an affirmation in my universe, right? Have you ever noticed that? Pardon me. You're not just one, you're two, right? You're the host. You're an energy that's in a host body, right? So the host body has its own deal. That's why your heart chakra, right? And somebody has to bring it alive, right? The gasoline of the car, right? And so in that aspect, if you can recognize that you're in duality, right? Always. And it's two of you, not one of you walking, me and my shadow. Well, that's always the case too. So you're actually in three. because it's you as source love, right? It's the shadow side that you've created, the egregore or the shadow side of you that you've created, and then of course your source walking around. So your body is, and you put you're the energy of source in that body. So if you can see all that, that helps to make that shift because a lot of us don't see that we're a triumvirate, right? We're three: body, God, source, love, right? And shadow side. And most of us ignore that. And that's what I've been doing for about 2 years. Since I would say since the trauma slightly ended 2 years ago. And since I got tapped on the shoulder, really, it should have been since I got 2.5 years. Since I got tapped on the shoulder by Archangel Raphael. Um, Literally, yes, ghosts can touch you. At least well, he's not a ghost, but energy can reach out in many different ways, right? Um, yeah, so let's do some I am statements, and then we'll work with the balance out with the amethyst for today. But yeah, the show's been the show, but if I'm going to keep doing the show, then I can't lie as to where I'm at or anything else. And it's right now. Welcome to the Shadow Work Show, basically, because that's where I'm at. I have to stand strong in my frame, and so the first couple days here of working in the shadow has been hell because it's been illuminating all the ways I've been living. Yeah, you ever had that happen to you, where light gets shined in front of you, and it's like crap. I'm not even anywhere where I thought I was. Essentially, right? But that's okay. That's where I'm where I'm supposed to be. So have you done, and this is a question you have to ask for yourself, have you done the shadow work? Have you sat down and why am I not choosing to find a job? Why am I not doing this? Why am I sitting on my Hillary Duff? Why am I? Why am I? What am I doing? Why did I just say that? Do I really want to do that? No. Why? Why do I do that? Oh crap, that's pattern. What did I just say? How did I just behave? What did I just buy? Where am I going? All of it. And it's really holy hell. But at the same time, all of that has been autonomic responses for the most part. I can't do that anymore because I have to be. And I have to be something I wasn't because I'm not in trauma anymore. So if I'm still trauma boy, but I'm in Scotty boy, we're still in trauma boy, right? That would be a good channel, right? Welcome to the trauma boy channel. But yeah, you get it. And so if I'm still acting in the same patterns that I was when I was trauma boy for 50 plus years, I can't do that anymore. And I can't carry it on the channel. I can't say everything's great because it's what it is, but I can't tell you anything that's not aligning. And, so this is where it is. If you're into the shadow work and to the full wake up, then grateful because we're gonna do the full wake up here. I'm not gonna sit here and like I'm healed. No, not freaking anywhere healed. I can see the light. I can stand strong in my frame when I need to. I can see that I'm source and I can manifest and whatnot. But I have missed half the boat by not getting rid of my patterns, by becoming a different person. When it truly boils down to you wake up, you're a whole new, but I'm not. Thank you, Scotty boy. Thank you for seeing that. And I know you've gone through a lot of that work. I know that. And so favor. I did not, and I'm not going to lie about it. I actually just sat on trauma for a good year in between all this in a lot of ways, right? Trauma grabbing. You ever do that? Where you grasp at your universe because you don't want to feel trauma, or you just want to stay in that self-soothing pattern. What is your self-soothing pattern, right? And so I tried grabbing this or grabbing them or grabbing to stay what in myself soothing patterns, so I didn't have to look inside myself. That's a hell of a disservice for somebody who's trying to what we're all we're doing is recovering emotionally from the crap that we've been through. That allows us to then vibrate faster, which steps us into, we'll call it ascension or whatever the heck you want to call it. But again, it steps you into that source self, right? And it's all blocked by trauma and patterns. And a lot of my patterns I've noticed are martyristic on top of it, right? Oh no, I'm okay. Don't worry about that. Charlie Brown energy, right? So that used to be, but that I'm not. I don't feel like Charlie Brown anymore. But I can still give off those patterns, and that's where the dysfor. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to merge masculine and feminine, and then break the patterns. But if I can't even break those patterns, then how can I see? Right, I'm sitting in broken. Everything's broken, and so until you can see that. And that's why I'm failure to launch in a lot of ways, right? Like the movie, like I just haven't looking for right. I'm still out of pattern, so I'm still as I walk through my universe in a lot of ways. But I'm noticing that. That's the during Victor's show, Saint Germain was there. I noticed my breathing change. Good thing I realized. Who is PLI? Here we go. Show it once. There we go. How awesome is that? So yeah, anytime I close my eyes, and I don't know about you guys, but anytime you close your eyes, do you see purple? Most of us, purple or green or blue. I see purple, and it comes in waves, but yeah. Favor. So yeah, are you seeing the deeper picture, guys? And we're going to discuss this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But it's not going to be this. I mean, the discussion will be different, but you get the idea. Because I can only, this is my universe. We're strength through hope, and so that's where I'm at in my emotional recovery on planet Earth. So I can learn that I'm not a trauma pattern, but I'm a human that's trying to be right. There we go, guys. Exactly. So let's do some I am statements. This is Saturn Day. What are you doing today? Today I have, and I have no idea who this guy is. I thought it was a country show, right? So I'm on the security team for John Summit. If I go kick the ball, is it going to pull away? You know what? No, but what'll happen is you may kick the ball and it rolls down the street, and then you feel like, oh man, I got to go chase the ball, and then you start feeling lower and lower and lower because you never release that pattern of when things fall away or aren't in my, things don't work out. Maybe you kick the ball and it lands in a gutter, right? And it goes down the drain. Then if you're still in trauma pattern of I'm not worthy, then you're going to be like, oh, I wasn't meant to have that ball. I'm not worthy of it anyways. Woe is me. Sadly, it's gone. Instead of, oops, I kicked the ball into the drain. Crap, let me get another ball. No, you're going to personalize it. You're going to internalize it as I'm not worthy. I'm fresh, or whatever it is. Just like ever see Clerks? You only brought one ball. I'll show you a big set of balls. You're right. You ever see Clerks when they're playing? One of my favorite movies. Playing hockey on top of the quick stop there, and they hit the one ball, and it lands in where the gutter down the street. You only brought one ball, right? And then you can see the trauma reactions of everybody screaming and yelling and pissed off instead of, well, at least we brought one ball. We had a game, right? So that's what we're talking about here, right? You choose how to react, and a lot of us just react in trauma autonomically. So, what are your I ams for today? I am going to have a great day at John's Summit. I don't know who he's the EDM, and listen to a show and walk around and have a good day and get paid, right? What are you going to do today? What is your I am? I am going to see where I am standing outside my frame. I'm going to see the trauma in my universe. I'm going to stand outside of it, be the observer of my. I am going to be. Who is there? Is that Adam from the Medium channel? We love you, brother. And yeah, if you heard that channeling there, then I'm grateful. Thank you. I'm grateful to see you here too, brother. If you're not sure who Adam is, he's kind of like the brother from another mother. I haven't been on his channel. I haven't been on YouTube that much because why? I'm creating. I'm trying. Cancel trying. Either do or do not. Yoda will tell you that. So I'm creating and seeing like macaroni, right? You ever spaghetti? You ever you say al dente, right? If it sticks to the wall. So I'm slowly but surely peeling myself off my Hillary Duff, cranking the inertia engine forward, right? And as I step through the trauma patterns that have kept me sitting on my Hillary Duff and the engine turning off on idle, right? And so as I do that, yeah, I'm watching less and less YouTube. I'll be there tomorrow morning though. Thanks, Adam. I love you, brother. He's a brother from another mother, right? There's so many similarities between Adam and I. You could probably fill a 52-gallon trash can with him. But yeah, in a lot of ways, and I'm grateful. Yeah. So, what is your I am for today? Today, I am experiencing awesomeness. Today, I am going to stand like a dragonfly, fly like a dragonfly. And this came from a reading I had a while ago. She pulled the dragonfly card. Yeah, it's the Cancerian vibe. Everybody has an OG tarot reader they have on YouTube. I don't watch her much anymore. I don't watch much tarot at all anymore. But yeah, the Cancer and of course Metatron came back and he just said don't watch any. That's a whole yeah. So yeah, but my OG reader there, she did pull the dragonfly card and she's like, you gotta hover above and it kind of stuck with me, hover above your universe and your problems just to get a higher perspective. Like the dragonfly is usually flying around just above your head, right? Exactly. So from your end, today I am the dragonfly, right? So that means what? I choose not to react. I choose to see, pause, then react. I choose to breathe, pause, and then see how I'm reacting. seeing how I am behaving, seeing what I am doing before I do. This is not easy. And in a lot of ways, it's holy hell because you're going to see stuff you don't like. I'm seeing patterns I don't like. I'm seeing thoughts that come up before I spit them out that are not generally who I want to be. And I'm seeing patterns, ways I'm behaving that I don't like, energies that have creeped back in that I don't like because I'm working on that shadow side of me. So you may go through holy hell. That's the point. Because on the other side, you're supposed to wake up as a whole new person, not the same patterns. Just I can feel the light, yay! But you're the same patterns. What have you really done then? So yeah, we're going to take this into a higher gear. So I am having that higher gear today. So from your end, we're going to do an invocation with Saint Germain one more time here with the I am. If you will join me, please. You have to fill in the blanks. You do what you do for your universe, but fill in the blanks as we say it. We will go like this, and you will answer the question for yourself, right? Choose your own adventure, right? Exactly. Go from page 3 to 45 in your universe, and then back to page 27, right? The most mixed up universes you can have. Choose your own adventure books. But nonetheless, choose your own today. Choose to be different. Choose to say different. Choose to speak differently. Choose to think differently, right? So stand. Before you speak today, what are you going to do? Stand and pause. 1 second, 2 seconds. Don't stand there like you have frozen, like we think you are like fake, right? You've seen videos of people who are like 4 or 5 minutes, right? You've seen sportscasters in middle of broadcast go, and then the football player is running down the field. And he ran down the field, right? You have seen that before. So we know what universe we are in some aspects. But what we are saying is work toward your universe. Take a pause. Think for a second. Is this who I really am? Is this what I really want to be? So we're going to do the I ams, and we're going to create a new today with the I am, right? So when you say I am, what does that mean for you? It means that you are declaring. Declarative statements are very large in your universal energies, right? If you make declarative statements, I am, the universe will being large words, right? Capital WILL, rearrange the molecules of your universe to create what you are looking for. But most of you are bringing your universe down, or you tear it down, right? By breaking the I am, by feeling they're not worthy, or re-I aming with other things. So what we are saying, and Josh has had an upgrade because he has seen what he has been missing in his universe, Adam. And that is the shadow side, the darker side, the reasons why he has not moved forward. Sitting in old trauma pattern reactions. So from your universe, we're going to create an I am today that creates a new you. Do not say I am and then put the same things after it. Create something new today. I am looking for the patterns that I need to remove. I am standing in my frame and saying things I choose to say, not that come from my subconscious. I am creating a universe full of love and not allowing the doubt that is generally sitting in my universe, right, to stand frame. I am going to eat like a king when I generally eat like a pauper, right? Whatever it is in your universe, make the shift. Start making that shift. I'm not going to watch 18 hours of YouTube today, right? I am going to create something in the physical instead, or I'm going to create and put it in YouTube, which is physical nonetheless, even though it is flat 2D, right? Are you an understanding? Hopefully you are, because most of us, and it's okay, have not been creating, have not been changing, and have only done half the work by stepping into the light and feeling the amazement, but still bloviating in the same traumatic responses. Nobody wants to hear you bloviate your traumatic response anymore when you think you are in the light or feeling the light. That is not going to spin around in anybody's universe. So I am blank today. I am, and for this channeler, right, he is not going to bloviate today. I am taking a moment to pause before I react, right? This is what your channeler is doing. What are you doing? I am today. I am going to hover above before I start dragging my problems out of the dirt and shoving them in your universe, right? I am going to realize, am I working on my problems on my own? Or am I just bloviating to somebody else, right? I am going to stand strong in the love that I know that I am and not stand in the unworthiness that the trauma used to stand me in, right? I am going to stand in as a human who is being and understand that everybody else is just trying to be today, right? And stand in their frame and understand through their traumas and screwed up reactions and messed up universes and lies and cheats and deceits that have all gone through and run through their energies, who they are. And we are going to accept them. I am accepting them for who they are because we are all standing in trauma in some fashion and responses and action. And that is why your world goes to war and why rich people and poor people and haves and have-nots and people think they're better than and all of that, right? And you have the club box versus the you can barely see the show behind the obstructed view. Are you in understanding yet? And until we realize that all we are is humans standing in traumatic reactions to each other, bloviating our traumas from one person to the next, and seeing whose drama can be louder and standing in frame in that, we are not going to get anywhere. You're going to have a planet that will continue to destroy itself because everybody is in trauma. Everybody's still reacting in traumatic ways, right? If we didn't have people reacting in traumatic ways, would you ever see war again? No, because it's the dumbest thing ever, right? That is the point. They did not do the shadow work. If anybody is ordering war, they have not done their own shadow work, right? Because they're standing in the trauma. They're standing in their ego. When you have one person in each and every individual country, generally speaking, who can declare war, are they safe? Have they done the shadow work? It should be the law on your planet that anybody who is going to run as president or vice president or governor or whatever it is, prime minister, premier, whatever the position is, right? And you think they are really running our country. We get another story for that. But nonetheless, they have to have done the shadow work as well, because you cannot take your trauma reactions into you put the whole world at risk at that point. If you are an understanding, we leave it alone at that. So I am doing different today. I am standing in my frame. I am being that light. And I am going to take a 5-second pause if need be before I react. I am going to back up and stand in my frame if I start to feel those low energies, trauma reaction. But I'm not going to just back up. I'm going to see what's going on in my universe, right? I'm going to stand around and look around and feel into what brought this in. Why am I standing in this frame? What happened that's causing the reaction to me standing in this frame? And if you are an understanding of why we are doing these things, then you will see the bigger picture. If you are not, favor to you, your universe will spin. And you can think you are recovered all day long, spinning around, bloviating the same things all day long, doing the same things, but you are not going to get different results. Releasing transmission. Hopefully you are seeing the I am in you, and create those statements today. All right, so there we go. Big stuff today. And so yeah, let's work with the crystal here and bloviate ourselves, fly ourselves out of here. It's 1:07 here, so hour and 7, so we're gonna get this going here. All right. Clear the energies here. So hopefully you see where I'm at. And so I'm pausing for my cause. I'm moving slower. I'm doing less of things that I used to do that would traumatically soothe me. I'm not right. And you know what that does? I'm reframing myself into a frame that it's a human that is being. That's the whole point. Because I'm just being. I'm not anything else. And so, all right, guys. Garnet, thank you. Thank you. It took a while, and there's a couple people, two specifically, that I am eternally grateful for all this, because you think you're one thing, and then it's like, fudge. I haven't even climbed the first flight of stairs. Yeah. Okay, but that's okay. That's as it's meant to be, and a lot of us have it, and that's okay. But join me as we dive into a human that's learning how to be, instead of a trauma pattern that's living in reaction, which is generally what we've been, right? Hi, my name is Trauma, and I'm here to react for you. Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm a human that's being. It's a lot better, right? All right, here we go, guys. Finding balance today, taking a pause, bringing in the violet flame if need be, right? How many of you call in the violet flame? Somebody comes into your frame, brings up all this negative energy, and then they leave, and you're like, ah! Call in the violet flame, clear it out, break the energy, erase them from the board. Grab the tools that are in front of us, and we need to, maybe we'll do a video on the toolkit video that of the toolkit stuff in our toolkit, right? Because that's we have a big box of tools that we carry, a backpack full of stuff that we carry around with us that we can utilize to pick up those energies, pick ourselves up, and stand in frame. But do we utilize those, or do we just let the energies wash over us? All right, here we go, guys. With balance today, a little amethyst, but sometimes you get bigger energy with a little amethyst, right? So it's got a solid point to it too, so we can direct some energies there. Here we go, guys. Clear the deck, and here we go. You will do it with leaps and bounds, Joshi. And all of us will, if we do it. And some of us have, And some of us are in that process, and some of us will never get to that process, and that's okay. I just don't want to recycle anymore. I'm just about done with all of this and figure. I want to stand as me, and I'm done with all the rest of it as just me. Not trauma boy, none of that. Right? We could do a channel, the trauma boy channel. Might not see her high up the staircase, but I look. If you look down the staircase, thank you. You'll see where you are, but you may not be able to see how high you right. And that's the point. I can see how high I've already come, but I can also, as it was gratefully pointed out by two beautiful souls, what I've been freaking missing the whole damn time, and that most of us honestly miss. And I'm not going to allow this car or this channel. If I'm going to continue this channel, and I've had thoughts about canning it, if I'm going to continue this channel instead of getting rid of it, I have to drive the bus in my own way, and I have to drive the bus based on where my universe is and what I'm seeing in my universe, and I have to drive this bus for me as well as for you guys. And so with that, if you want to be on this bus, and I'm grateful you are, then this bus is going to be talking a lot about healing trauma patterns, wounds, and standing more in frame day in and day out. And if you're working that every single day, generally speaking, you'll stand more in frame. So here we go. That's I have a what? A single story house, no stairs. There we go. All right, so here we go, guys. All right. And of course, energetics only works with you. So today, with your permission, what's we got here? I'm no longer able no longer available to the inner Charlie Brown, people pleaser version of my let me close it so I can see it better. People pleaser version of my shadow self. That that is etc. Such spirit has our back on clearing the traumas. There we go. Perfect. Hershey. My screen's not centered, so there we go. Oh, that's this is a great time for clearing shadow work, etc. With the Dark Moon 3 Atlas, super the channels or the sun, etc. Spirit. There we go. Spirit has our back on the traumas. There we go. All right. There's Hershey. Excuse Adam Jim. It's a moving chat, right? I am no longer. There we go. I'm no longer available to the inner Charlie Brown, people pleaser version of my shadow self. That is my root chakra mantra for today. So we're gonna. There you go. I am no longer available to Charlie Brown. He's that clown. He ain't around. That Charlie Brown. Just you wait and see. Everybody always picking on me, right? Charlie Brown. He's a clown. That Charlie Brown. Gonna get tough. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody? Because your energy allowed for it. You called to be picked on. And I called that my entire life. I didn't realize why I didn't have any frame. So everybody in school, hey, there's a frameless guy. Let's stomp the shit. Let's make our universe feel better by stomping the shit out of his, right? That's all it is. That's all bullying is. I feel like crap, so I'm gonna stomp on you so I feel better. That's amazing, Hershey. Thank you. If I could pin it, I would, but I don't. You can't pin anything on the stream here. All right, so here we go with the amethyst, guys. I know this is gonna be a longer show. And maybe Saturday shows, we'll just make them an hour and a half, so I don't have to worry so much, right? All right, so welcome to the extended version of the weekend edition. We're gonna do that. We're just not gonna worry so much, right? And exactly. So in weekdays, we got people. Hopefully, you're doing something. You have something planned. You have something different to do, and you're not just flipping YouTube. I spent 5 years, 6 years flipping YouTube. Granted, I learned a lot, and I can tell you all the conspiracy theories. I can sit here and tell you anything, but I didn't move. I grew, but I didn't grow. And hopefully, you're not doing that because it's a trap, right? Like in Empire Strikes Back, it's a trap. Get out, everybody. Or what's it? No, Return of the Jedi, when all the spaceships pull up and they're already on end. Yeah, exactly. It's a trap, and they get attacked, right? In Return of the Jedi. Here we go. Weekend y'all just left it flow. All right, so we're gonna finally work with the amethyst, and again, your permission is my permission is your permission, right? But don't ever let anybody do anything energetic. Like maybe love, right? I'm gonna send you love. You need to say no to that. No, I don't want your love, man. Keep your love off my body. No. But not exactly. Keep your love out of my frame. But no, generally speaking. Otherwise, yeah. Here we go, guys, with your permission. All right, so what we're working on is finding balance today. Today, and also finding where the camera is versus because I'm on horizontal versus vertical. All right. So today it is your job to do what? Move my chair over so I can be centered. There we go. Stand in the I am. Move the camera over just a hair. There we go. Stand in the I am. Stand in your frame, and also realize you are choosing subconsciously or consciously. Subconscious is a choice. Your reactions to others in your frame. This is hard to do because I got to center up the camera here. There we go. We'll do it sideways. All right. I'll sit at an angle in my chair because the camera's like over here, and it's opposite too. So, all right. There we go. Wow. So we're pulling out all that energy today that's going to keep you right in that. There we go. In that broken frame that we stand in. How many of us are saying, hey, I'm of the light, but then presenting ourselves in a broken manner, right? Presenting our shadow side, presenting our trauma reactions to people and then realizing it, even maybe kicking ourselves in the teeth. Did I just say that? So, right, like, did I do that? So yeah, so in your universe, where are you standing and are you in frame? Are you seeing the frame that you built? And are you seeing your reactions to others inside your universe and how it all comes together? Are you seeing your self talk? Let's peel open that space so you can see into why everybody might be picking on you, why you are Charlie Brown, right? Are you that clown? Do you want it to get tough? Just you wait and see. Right. That's the point. Thank you. Garnet, thank you. Trista, have a day as amazing as you are. May something amazing. And for each of you guys, if you can see it, let something amazing happen to you. Let your amazement shine through. And even if you are in trauma, even if you haven't done the shadow work, we dropped the crystal. Even if you haven't done the shadow work yet, be proud of yourself. Just that fact that you even know that there may be shadow work to be done is more than most people ever get to in their universe, right? How many people who are at 60 who are still screaming the same crap when they were 30? Yelled at yesterday by a friend who'll never watch this channel. Well, she might with a friend of hers karmically, but that's a whole nother deal. But yeah, I have my one friend in Colorado sits around with another friend and they watch YouTube. And I don't know if they watch mine, but I've been there before at their house. They watch YouTube and make fun of people. It's not fun. But yeah, so who knows? But nonetheless, yeah, that's like my friend's entertainment is to watch YouTube. Crazy. But that's blocking that shows some sort of shadow side, right? If you're making fun of other people, then there's a shadow side within you that's not healed. That's the point, right? Can you see that in your and I'm sorry if I get loud, but I think scream at me. It's love. I want it to come back to you guys. I want you to see what I'm seeing because what's missing in a lot of our frames, what's missing in a lot of our recoveries is that and freeing the shackles. And that's you, Garnet, you got this. It's freeing the shackles from the patterns that have kept you have been utilizing to keep you self-soothed. When those patterns are gone, you break open a whole new universe. When those patterns are recognized, you don't have to stand, at least if they're not recognized, it's the first point. And once you start recognizing them, then you don't have to start acting on them. And once you stop acting on them, that's when the outside truly starts to shift. And I've learned that, or I'm learning. You never learn it. Exactly. I'm learning that. I got one slat blind that broke, and I was leaning it up, and it fell over. So it's answered my. Yeah, if you ever had like those slat blinds in an apartment and it pop in, if they break, like the tab when it breaks, get a playing card or a business card and cut it across and tape over it and then punch a hole. You can snap it back up. I haven't done it yet, but yeah. So like 5 of my blinds, I had a beat up deck of playing cards that was missing stuff, and so they have playing cards, cut up playing cards that I used as a fold to create the tab, and then duct tape, or not duct tape, clear tape, but Duck brand clear tape. You get the idea. So yeah, I'm playing with 5 cards out of a deck on my blinds. But yeah, so I'm utilizing this as an energetic of pulling out what I don't see today. I'm using this as an energetic to break up My root chakra just enough. I mean, I'll break it up more, but if nothing else, just enough so that I can stand in frame long enough to grab myself. When somebody says, "How's your day going?" I go, and I start dumping. No, that's not their job. My day's okay. I'm doing better. How are you doing? My day's good. I'm doing great. And then to know to myself where where I'm out of pattern. Love is the key that can open any door. Yes. Light up the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. That's a song, by the way. Exactly. It's always the answer. I mean, generally speaking, coming in a version of love and just being walking of love. Yes. But don't let people push you over. It's love with a frame. That's partly what people miss too. It's a love with strength behind yourself. And that's what I'm learning is that strength behind myself that I'm missing. And that's because I've been in trauma reaction. I know I'm source. I know I'm the light, right? We're all the light. I am, right? We know that. But are you standing in that frame? Are you really standing in that frame if you're still subconscious trauma reactions? No. Because you're not, it's the light that's not controlling. It's the subconscious reactions that are running your universe. And I choose not to live in those anymore. So hopefully this is breaking up the root and sacral chakras that generally keep us in those trauma reactions, right? That this is breaking those up so that we can stand in a larger frame. We can stand in that frame that is source and actually express it. Not yeah, and a lot of I'm going to add even more. How many of us are complainers, right? We complain about this and that trauma reaction. Sorry to say. I'm just learning that too, because I'm not allowing for. I'm complaining about, and if this is the universe I created, then why am I complaining about anything? It's another traumatic reaction. It's not trust either. Love is opening the door. Love is what we came here for. No one can offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Love sung by Leslie Duncan and covered by Elton John. Awesome. Awesome. I like the one. Gary, is it? I think it's Gary. Right? Light up the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. It generally is. It's coming from a loving space, but it's also about loving yourself. Loving yourself means saying no. I don't think so. In a lot of ways too, and a lot of us don't see that. So yeah, we're gonna do exhale old energies and wipe away. We're gonna start poking really hard at the sacral and root chakras because that's where our trauma patterns sit. Even though they're in our subconscious, that's where they're the broken chakra that they sit in, right? So we're spreading love into that broken chakra, and none of our don't fool yourself. There's anybody who's got a totally healed root chakra, right, or sacral chakra. It's always a process of getting better, expanding its light, right? And this is the whole point. We're never done, and you're never done with the shadow work. But you learn, and what I'm learning is how to stand in myself to see those patterns. And that's not I'm not gonna lie, it's work. It's like lifting energy, right? And you have to do the work. And so when people say, have you done the work? We're not talking about dark night of the soul. That's an autonomic reaction. The body does what it does. This is your job in the recovery process, your emotional recovery on planet Earth from trauma, right? And that's really what we're talking about here all along. That's not ascension. If you're looking for ascension, then you found the wrong channel. What I'm looking for is recovery from the trauma that kept me from being a human that's being. That will rise my vibration, and I will vibrate consistently at a faster rate over time because I'm stepping out of trauma and getting in the flow of myself, my love, and my universe, right? That's the point, guys. If you're looking to be like, oh, I'm going to be in 6D and above everybody, no, you're not. Well, you might be, but you're not going to be above everybody else or anybody. You're all an equal playing field. It's just how you see the field. We're all in the same stadium. It's just, do you see the stadium as nice, or are you looking for the cracks in the stadium? Are you looking for the one seat that doesn't fold down? Are you seeing that there's 65 other thousand seats that fold down perfectly, right? All right, we're going to send this into oblivion here in just a moment and seal this off, guys. But hopefully yours, I'm hoping this all came through because it's been sitting here and I can't prop up. I have to shift the energies with the show with my energies, right? And I can't be something I'm not, and I'm not going to prop up anything and tell people, "Hey, welcome to the Healed Channel." No, not at all. Um, but I can tell you that 90 a good portion of people don't ever get this far and don't, and I can tell you that most of the people, there are exceptions, but gratefully the two that helped me are the exceptions for sure. But most of the people in my universe are just traumatic reactions. That's why, like yesterday, I went to visit a friend. I got yelled at. I understood it, but I don't want. I don't. And I may even own only what I'm not owning her yelling where I might have been in the fault. There is energy there, but nobody deserves somebody's traumatic reaction of getting yelled at for any reason. And that's trauma space. I can't tell her she's playing in the trauma because she doesn't understand that she's in trauma and that her reactions to her universe are traumatic and her reactions to others come in a traumatic way as to because it's the only way they can physically express themselves. And it's not my business to do so. Um, it's my business to hold my energy up uh, and stand in my frame and not accept anybody yelling at me. And I didn't. And I told her that. And we finally, it came to a balance. But it's my job then to accept where they may, if I can see it, where they might be frustrated with myself, and that's understandable. People, are, if you explain it in a different way, instead of just traumatically yelling at somebody, things come out differently. But if you don't know any better, you're going to react emotionally first, and then maybe once you've been pulled out of the emotional traumatic response, that's when on the backside, because you feel better, you've released that traumatic response, then you can rationally discuss it. But until then, we got to have the irrational side of you first. And that's generally a lot of what happens. All right, we're going to seal this off. All right, and the idea on that was to scatter and break up the energies that have been sitting in your and it did to me, sitting in your sacral and root chakras that keep you seeing what? The same trauma pattern. Keep you in that, not seeing it, in the same trauma pattern. We break it up just enough, we get some light in there, and you can see that trauma pattern. And you can stand in the shadow and then see how you can step into a new, improved you. Welcome to the new improved you, brought to you by you. You're the only one that can do it. All right, guys. So I am what today? You make that statement. And of course, have an amazing Saturday. Let's close this out with a group hug like we always do, guys. And so, yeah, Saturday shows, unless something otherwise, one in the family here, but generally speaking, we're going to make this show. So we just loosey goosey, right? We'll just roll it into an hour and 15 minutes plus, and we don't have to worry. But generally, we end up like hour 12 or something. But yes, we just don't have to worry. But and not in a million years. You try to, I challenge, not in a million years did I ever think I could do four. Are you ready for over almost 400 times I've sat in this chair. Um, and yes, it's all just falling out. So grateful. And yeah, it's interesting if I go when I go back and watch like original Good Dawnings and then where I'm at now, and hopefully you can see the same in your universe. Sometimes it's good to look down the stairs, and because you can't see where you're going up, right? You can only see you don't know where you're going. You don't know if this is a level floor you get off on or what. Right? If you open right, but when you're sitting on the stairs, look down a little bit, just take a moment and see where you've come from and see where you are now. But ancient days, I saw you shining in the sun this morning. Ancient days. All right, guys. So let's close this out. Left arm up to the person on your left. Voila. Right arm up to the person on your right, and we make one giant big circle like you would see maybe in rugby or like a football huddle, but we're not going to push each other around the field, right? We do that enough with our traumatic energies. Thank you, Adam, for being this. Thank you. Seeing you in the audience. That's awesome. And if you don't know who Adam is the, I'll throw this up real quick. Please, guys, subscribe to the Medium channel with Adam, my brother from another mother. One of these days, and I know this, I can't complete my journey without meeting you, Adam, and a few of you guys. And so that will have to happen. Maybe one of your August retreats there or something else. But one day at a time. But yeah, if you don't know who Adam is, check him out. He'll be live tomorrow, 9 or 11 East Coast, 9 Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Victor time, and 8 o'clock, Scotty Boy Porch Crew time, Scotty Boy and Neil and Shelly time. Yeah, so check him out with Tarot time on Saturn day or Sunday, I should say. And yeah, thank you, Adam, for being here. All right, guys, and subscribe to the Medium channel as well, guys. So definitely. Um, yeah, thank you all. So let's close this out. We take our left arm up and our right arm that's up on each other's shoulders there. I'm probably tiring at this point. We take the love out of our left hand and spin it around through each and every one of us. So my heart chakra is going to go through each and every one of you as it comes back around to my heart. And so is your heart chakra going to go through each and every one of us. And as we spin around faster and faster, our hearts merge as one, kind of like the molecules in the Large Hadron Collider. They all converge in the one big boom, right? And so that's what we're doing in the one big energy. And we take that energy, that one big boom energy that we all are together. The 16 heart chakras that equal one larger heart chakra, and we connect that like a reverse tornado. And we send it up to the greater source field, fueling that love and sending that love into the greater source field. And we see everybody in the greater source field in the I am presence today. And we see each and every one of us today in the I am presence as well. And we stand in that I am frame, and we stand in the frame of healing. We stand in the frame of love, and I stand in the frame of all the awesomeness that I really am. I stand in that frame, and we, as the I am, realize that we are who we are. We are source. We are the love that we are, and we are also not our traumatic reactions. We allow, though, as the I am, to see other people in their light and to allow for their traumatic reactions and understand that 90%, I don't have a number, but most of the people on this planet are still reacting in a traumatic way, traumatically to basic things in their universe. And as we allow for them to do so, we continue to step out of our frame, or step into our frame, I should say, dropping those trauma reactions, standing stronger as source, and realizing that if we've cleared the trauma, then we don't need to do the actions behind them to keep ourselves soothing and peace, calm, or whatever it is to cover up those traumas anymore. We stand strong in the love of source that we are. We stand strong in the love as a human trying to be and better ourselves on the daily as we are. And we stand strong, allowing ourselves to see the patterns that are in our universe today, and allowing those patterns of trauma reactions, those patterns that are unconscious to us, come to the surface so that we stand more as a human that's being instead of a human that is acting out of programming. We understand and love the I am in others, and we allow for each and everybody to be where they are in their I am, whether that is trauma reaction or otherwise. And we see each and everybody on this planet in love and peace. We see Mother Gaia, of course, with no X's or O's in her sky. I've never seen an O per se, but plenty of X's. Marks a satellite photo, right? Which is what it does. And then of course, we see Mother Gaia with no plastic or forever chemicals in her soil or on her waters, right? We see each and every one of us today in love, in peace, taking that pause for the cause of not reacting in trauma when we're not. The pause of we respect you as a human is trying to be the other person we're talking to, and we don't want to dump our trauma reactions on them anymore. And we stand strong in the frame of love, in the frame of light, realizing who we are through our realize today. And with that, we take our reverse tornado that we've connected to the greater source field, and we let it go. We release it to the greater source field, and it floats up like a big balloon and spreads our love and our hope that everybody on this planet figures out at some point that 99% of their actions are generally traumatic reactions to their universe. And we can end some of this dysfunction on the planet as we let that love flow to each and everybody in the universe. With that, we close out by saying hallelujah, so it is, so it shall be, and seal it with love. Whew. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. What did Val say? Blessings and love, everyone. We are on an epic journey. Be patient. Yes, be patient with yourself as well, but only so much, because it's your job to not trauma dump your energies into the universe if you're not in trauma. Period. End of story. And that's what I'm learning. And with that, that's how you frame up. That's how you become. And if we, that's why our planet's so screwed up, because everyone's still standing in trauma. And one president yells at another prime minister, and it's just trauma, right? It's just their ego. It's not reality, generally speaking. So there we go, guys. All right. Have an amazing day. Remember, everything that you do say, project, think about, react to, create your loving, living universe. So just keep that in mind. And you have the choice to slow down, stand in your frame, and see what you're doing or not, and just react. I love you all. I will get in touch with Chloe and see when we can reschedule. But otherwise, if you need crystals, go to chloescrystalshop.com. Floyd family, Floyd fam, Floyd FAM for 15% off. And yeah, favor and love to Chloe. Hope she's having a good day. And remember, you stand in the I am today and stand framed up, right? Somebody comes into your universe and they try to kick you out of frame because they're not in their own frame. Energy loves its own company. Are you seeing how this works, right? So a lot of people will come and try to kick you off your pedestal or your frame and get you out of frame because they're not in frame. So when that happens, it's your job then not to point it out to them, but to stand in your frame and either do or do not. Love you all. Have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you. I will see you on Moon Day in the next, right? Stay awesome. Well, actually, I'll see you tomorrow. I probably won't be at Truth Wave tonight because I'll be at walking around the concert. But securing, I don't know how much security I can perform, but looking like I'm securing a concert. But yeah, 5'3" and dripping. I'm like dripping 5'3", like 125 pounds, 30 pounds. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to do much, but maybe 140 pounds. But either way, it's the energy, right? Love you all. Stay awesome. And I will see you all probably in Adams tomorrow in the next. So, or Truth Wave tomorrow in the dawning, I should say, in the next. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you all for being here. You have a million choices on YouTube. I don't take any of this. I might fight myself against wanting to close this channel, but I don't take any of this for granted. And it's a matter of not closing it, but shifting the energies. I can't be, got to be what I got to be because I got to be who I am in my recovery and share that with you. Stay awesome, guys. I love you, and I'll see you all in the next. Oh, Robert V's on tonight. Cool. I think that's Milky Way Soul Tribe. And I think tonight also after Truth Wave, generally on Saturdays, is the experiment with Jimena and Clint too. So check that out. And sometimes you just don't need to talk or cut, right? Just need to have fun on YouTube. And that's what they do at night. And it's appreciated because we're just hanging out, just talking like you. We're not trying to we're just being. Sometimes that's the whole point. Stop trying to be. Love you guys.